Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you a great matchup of West versus West as the Blue Valley West Jaguars, coached by Deborah Connerly, will take on the Shawnee Mission West Vikings, coached by Pam Creed. Let's go ahead and meet our contestants first from Blue Valley West.
Hi, I'm Hamant. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Shrivitz. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Colby. I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Vineet, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Yasmin, and I'm a senior.
And our competitors from Shawnee Mission West.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Coleman. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Dane. I'm a sophomore.
All right, here on Categories, in the first round, we will take turns answering questions. If the team responds correctly, they earn a point for their squad. If they answer incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal that category. We did a coin toss before we started taping. It was won by the Jaguars. So Blue Valley West, here is the first category. It is health and medicine. A dilation of the cranial arteries is an important cause of this ailment, which can result in a loss of appetite, nausea, and vomiting. The most effective treatment is ergotamine tartrate, which causes the blood vessels of the scalp and brain to constrict. Name this common type of headache. Shrivitz?
Migraine.
It is a migraine. Long question for a short answer. Vikings, coming back to you, religion is the category. Society of Friends, or the Society of Friends, came to America so they could follow their own religion. This sect is better known by what name? Nick?
The Quakers.
It is the Quakers. Coming back to you, Jaguars, sports, specifically racing. Land speed records are set at what site in Utah? Come on.
Salt Lake City.
Cannot accept Salt Lake City. Vikings chance to steal this sports and racing category. Land speed records are set at what site in Utah? Time on that. We're specifically looking for the Bonneville Salt Flats, Bonneville. Vikings, we are staying with you. Mathematics is the category. It's a fairly long question, so please pay close attention. F of x equals x squared plus 2x, and g of x equals x plus 1. What are the zeros of the function g of f of x? Time on that. Jaguars, chance to steal this mathematics question. F of x equals x squared plus 2x, and g of x equals x plus 1. What are the zeros of the function g of f of x? Shrivitz?
-2, -1, and 0.
We will accept that, yes. Jaguars, staying with you with geography. Which country gained independence in 1981? Britain's last country on the mainland of the Americas. Come on.
Belize.
It is Belize. Coming back to you, Vikings, general knowledge. Also called the cream nut or the butternut. It's a seed of an evergreen found mainly in the Amazon basin. Name that nut. Jonathan?
Pine nut.
It is not the pine nut. Jaguars, chance to steal this general knowledge question. Also called the cream nut or the butternut. It's the seed of an evergreen found mainly in the Amazon basin. Name that nut. Colby.
Chestnut.
It's not the chestnut, it's the Brazil nut. The Brazil nut. Jaguars, we are staying with you. Literature is the category. Harry Bailey is the jolly landlord of the Tabard Inn. In what work does he appear? Vikings, chance to steal this literature question. Harry Bailey is the jolly landlord of the Tabard Inn. In what work does he appear? Coleman?
Moby Dick.
It is not Moby Dick. It's Canterbury Tales. Canterbury Tales. West, Shawnee Mission West, we are staying with you with the next category, which is U.S. history. In what year did the Lincoln-Douglas debates occur? Dane.
1859.
Sorry, that is incorrect. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. history question. In what year did the Lincoln-Douglas debates occur?
1860.
I'm sorry, that too is incorrect. 1858. 1858. Jaguars, staying with you, vocabulary is the category. What 9-letter noun, starting with the letter B, means irreverence towards the deity or even claiming to be God? Shrivitz.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy, very good. Vikings, geography, specifically Mexican geography. What Mexican region contains the country's most ancient pyramids? Jonathan?
Yucatan.
Yucatan, very good. Jaguars, coming back to you, U.S. history. Daniel Webster served as Secretary of State under 2 presidents. Name either one. Yasmin?
Thomas Jefferson.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. history category. Daniel Webster served as Secretary of State under 2 presidents. Name either one of them. Coleman?
Teddy Roosevelt.
It's not Teddy Roosevelt. William Henry Harrison and Millard Fillmore are the 2. Vikings, sports is the category. The 24-second rule revolutionized what sport in the 1950s? Dane?
Basketball.
It is basketball. Coming back to you, Jaguars, general knowledge. If your sign is Virgo, you were born in one of 2 months. Name either one. Ahmad?
September.
September. Vikings, current events. Name the cult leader who organized the murders of 7 people in Los Angeles in 1969, who recently died in prison. Nick?
Charles Manson.
It is Charles Manson. Jaguars, film is your category. Starts off with a quote. "We'll go on forever, Paul, because we're that people." This is the closing line of what 1940s movie? Ahmad?
Gone with the Wind.
It is not Gone with the Wind. Vikings, chance to steal this film category. Starts off with a quote. "We'll go on forever, Paul, because we're that people." This is the closing line of what 1940s movie? The Grapes of Wrath. Grapes of Wrath. Vikings, staying with you, U.S. government is the category. Name the American politician who served the most years in the top 2 offices of president and vice president combined. Dane?
FDR.
It is not FDR. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. government question. Name the American politician who served the most years in the top 2 offices of president and vice president combined. Ahmad?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
It was not Lyndon B. Johnson. It was Richard Nixon with 13 years and 7 months. Okay, Blue Valley West, you get the next category, which is government and economics. What form of government places all power in a small group of individuals or a few prominent families? Yasmin?
An oligarchy.
An oligarchy, very good. Vikings, art history. During the 14th and 15th century, the arts were reborn in Europe. It was a time when many of the world's greatest painters and sculptors lived and worked in Italy. This time is known as what? Nick?
The Renaissance.
It is the Renaissance. Coming back to you, Jaguars, math, specifically terminology, is your category. Several points that are all in one line are given what mathematical adjective? Shrivitz?
Collinear.
Collinear, very good. Vikings, vocabulary. What is the term for the practice of appointing relatives to an office in disregard of others more qualified? Nick?
Nepotism.
It is nepotism. Coming back to you, Jaguars, philosophy, specifically terminology in philosophy. Traditionally, this term has been used to describe what branch of philosophy dealing with beauty or the beautiful, especially in art. Shrevitz?
Aesthetics.
Aesthetics, very nice. Vikings, literature is your category. In his first book, On Human Nature, Hume attempted to found a science of man based on the physics of what British scientist? Time on that. Jaguars, chance to steal this literature category. In his first book, On Human Nature, Hume attempted to found a science of man based on the physics of what British scientist? Yasmin?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Sir Isaac Newton, very good. Current events. Back to staying with you, Jaguars. Current events, multiple choice. Name the country whose men's soccer team failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time in 60 years after losing to Sweden. Is it Italy, France, Portugal? Come on.
Italy.
It is Italy. Vikings, coming back to you. Science is the category. 100 years ago, a precocious 26-year-old scientist enjoyed an annus mirabilis, or a miracle year, in which he published 3 papers that transformed physics. Who stunned the scientific world in 1905? Nick?
Albert Einstein.
It is Einstein. Jaguars, vocabulary, specifically vocabulary with law and business. The judging of a dispute by one or more impartial persons whose decision is final and binding is called what? Yasmin?
A torts case.
I cannot accept a torts case. Vikings, chance to steal this vocabulary, specifically law and business. The judging of a dispute by one or more impartial persons whose decision is final and binding is called what? Nick?
Arbitration.
Arbitration. Staying with you, Vikings, music is the category. Multiple choice. Of Baroque, classical, romantic, and contemporary, identify the period represented by the music of Massenet, Gounod, and Bizet. Coleman?
Baroque.
It is not Baroque. Jaguars, chance to steal this music category. Of Baroque, classical, romantic, and contemporary, identify the period represented by the music of Massenet, Gounod, and Bizet. Ahmad?
Romantic.
It is romantic. Jaguars, we are staying with you. General knowledge is the category. We're going to go ahead and finish the question. Identify the grinding tool and receptacle commonly seen on signs indicating a drugstore. Benit?
Mortar and pestle.
Those are the two. Very good. And with that siren at the beginning of the question denotes the end of our first half. Blue Valley West has a slight lead here with a score of 12 to Shawnee Mission West 8. This part of our program, during halftime, we will go to a representative from each school as they will give us a campus update. And first of all, we have Hamant from Blue Valley West. What is happening with the Jaguars?
Yeah, things are going good at West. Our boys soccer team completed an excellent finish to their season by bringing the state title back to Blue Valley West. And fittingly, Noah Mabry scored another hat trick to secure it, who is now the all-time leading goal scorer in Blue Valley West history. So we're very proud of them. Our competitive marching band also took home first place at their state competition. So we're very proud of them. And lastly, from now up until the end of first semester, Blue Valley West is implementing a new schedule change, which will have Tuesdays and Thursdays have a late start at 8:30, as opposed to the previous time where we only had Thursday late start at 9 a.m. So we're piloting it for this semester, and we'll see how it goes and if we continue with it.
Right, and that's for the teachers too, or?
Yeah, that's for everyone.
Wow. Sounds okay by me. There we go. All right, and Sean, you're giving us the update for the Vikings. What is happening over on Antioch?
Our basketball team season is officially beginning tonight with the first scrimmage of the year. Then our bowling team is hosting tryouts this week, and we hope to have another successful year there. And our marching band is beginning preparation to go to the London New Year's Day Parade for the almost 7th consecutive time, I believe.
Wow, and I think they do a lot of fundraising and get sponsorships for that trip,
Yes.
don't they? That's a big deal. I know that I see that every year that you guys get the invitation. It's very, very impressive things going on at both schools. As we begin our second round here on categories, it is the lightning round in which either team can answer the question that's placed on the floor. If the team responds incorrectly, the other team still gets a chance to steal, but if they answer correctly, they earn a point for their squad. As tradition here on categories, we start our look and listen, our lightning round with our look and listen question. Our look and listen question is worth 2 points, and we will display it here on our monitor and over our speakers here in the studio for our contestants. And just this reminder to everybody, once someone rings in, we cannot rewind the video. We have to go from where the video has stopped from that point forward. So here we go. Both teams, here is our look and listen question. In the fall of 1970, members of an American Indian movement seized this vessel in protest. Name its name or namesake. Time on that. It's the Mayflower. It's the Mayflower. Okay, all right, we're ready to move on to the rest of our lightning round, in which I will place questions on the floor for either team to answer, and the first team to respond with the correct answer will earn a point for their squad. Here we go. World history is the category. Which of these regions was not occupied by the Israelis after the 1967 Six-Day War? Was it the Bekaa Valley, the Golan Heights, the Gaza Strip, or the Sinai Peninsula? Coleman.
The first one.
It is the first one, Bekaa Valley. Very good. History, explorers for both teams. Arrange these New World explorers in chronological order. Here they are: LaSalle, Hudson, and Cabot. Shrivitz?
LaSalle, Hudson, Cabot.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Vikings, chance to steal this history explorers question. Arrange these New World explorers in chronological order: LaSalle, Hudson, Cabot. Sean?
Hudson, LaSalle, Cabot.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Cabot, Hudson, then LaSalle. Both teams, Spanish language is the next category. The Spanish number 100 is how many? Come on.
100.
100. Literature for both teams. Who was the first science fiction writer to appear on a bestseller list? The year was 1961, and the book was Stranger in a Strange Land. Dane.
Asimov.
It's not Asimov. Jaguars, chance to steal this literature question. Who was the first science fiction writer to appear on a bestseller list? The year was 1961, and the book was Stranger in a Strange Land.
H.G. Wells.
It is not H.G. Wells. It is Robert Heinlein. Geography for both teams. What is the only extensive elevated area between the Appalachians and Rocky Mountains? Jonathan?
Ozark Plateau.
Yeah, the Ozarks, or the Ozark Plateau. Very good. Science, meteorology for both teams. Wind, which blows from the land to the water, is known as what? It's simply known as an offshore wind. Offshore wind. Science, the elements. Which family is represented by the following element? Helium. Shrivitz?
Noble gases.
Noble gases, very good. Fine arts, painters. His paintings are noted for their fantastic dreamlike quality, such as his composition, I and My Village. Born in Russia, he did most of his paintings in Paris. Name this 20th century artist. Chagall, Marc Chagall. U.S. history. Because of her quartermaster activity in the American War of Independence, what nickname was bestowed on Mary Ludwig Hayes? She was also known as Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher. U.S. geography. What town in Texas is named for the Native Americans whose territory it once was? The Native American name was spelled Hueco. Shrevitz?
Houston.
It is not Houston. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. geography question. What town in Texas is named for the Native Americans whose territory it once was? That Native American name was spelled Hueco. Nick?
Waco.
It is Waco. Another geography question for both teams. What island are you on if you're in Montego Bay? Colby?
Jamaica.
It is Jamaica. World history. With what ocean liner did the Andrea Doria collide in 1956? Colby?
The Queen Mary.
It is not the Queen Mary. Vikings, chance to steal this world history question. With what ocean liner did the Andrea Doria collide in 1956? It is the Stockholm. U.S. history. In 1934, he was public enemy number 1. Was he Al Capone, John Dillinger, Machine Gun Kelly, or Clyde Barrow? Dane?
Al Capone.
It is not Al Capone. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. history question. In 1934, he was public enemy number 1. Was he Al Capone, John Dillinger, Machine Gun Kelly, or Clyde Barrow? Colby?
Clyde Barrow.
It was not Clyde Barrow, it was John Dillinger. General knowledge for both teams. The letter V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. What letter is the 11th? Come on.
Is it K?
It is K. I saw everybody counting in their head real quick on that. It was awesome. Art terminology for both teams. What term describes relative brightness in art? It's the chroma or intensity. Vocabulary, word origin. What specifically do the words nemesis and tantalize have in common? Nick.
They come from Greek mythology.
They come from Greek mythology. Very good. U.S. history, presidents. What president won re-election in 1832? Benit?
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. Very good. You have a 5-point lead here, 17 to Shawnee Mission West 12. U.S. geography, population. The Census Bureau reports that what group is the United States' largest minority group? Come on.
Asians.
I'm sorry, it's not
Asian.
Asians. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. geography population question. The Census Bureau reports that what group is the United States' largest minority group? Coleman?
African Americans.
It's not African American, it's Hispanics. Literature, poetry. The set of laws that is applied to the person who has disappeared and is unknown to be alive comes from a title of a Tennyson poem about a long-lost mate who returns to find his spouse remarried. Name that poem. Dane?
Odysseus.
It is not Odysseus.
The Odyssey.
I'm sorry, cannot accept that. Jaguars, do you have a chance to steal this poetry category? A set of laws that is applied to a person that has disappeared and is unknown to be alive. Comes from the title of a Tennyson poem about a long-lost mate who returns to find his spouse remarried. Name that poem. Enoch Arden. Enoch Arden is the name of that one. Next question for both teams. Science, physics. When a large object vibrates because it is being acted upon by something else that is vibrating at the object's natural frequency, what property is being demonstrated? Shrevitz?
Harmonic frequency.
Cannot accept harmonic frequency. Vikings, chance to steal this science physics question. When a large object vibrates because it is being acted upon by something else that is vibrating at the object's natural frequency, what property is being demonstrated? Nick?
Resonance.
Resonance is what we're looking for. Another science question, this time astronomy. To the nearest 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the surface of the planet Venus is about what temperature? Colby?
800 degrees.
800, we'll take that. It's within the range. General knowledge. The answer was 900 on my card, so you got it. Okay. General knowledge for both teams. What is chanted in a meditation? Trivets?
An incantation.
I'm sorry?
Incantation.
I cannot accept an incantation. Vikings, chance to steal this general knowledge question. What is chanted in a meditation? Sean?
Mantra.
A mantra is. Current events for both teams. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rosello ordered the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority to cancel a $300 million no-bid rebuilding contract. Give me the small Montana company named in that contract. Colby?
Whitefish.
It is Whitefish. Nice job. U.S. government for both teams. What tactic does the Federal Reserve use to fight rising inflation?
Altering interest rates.
We'll accept it. Very good. General knowledge for both teams. What color is a Granny Smith apple? Shrevitz?
Green.
It is green. Religious history for both teams. In what country did the Council of Trent, called by Pope Paul III, meet between 1545 and 1563 to define Catholic beliefs and counteract Protestant teachings? Coleman?
Germany.
It is not in Germany. Jaguars, chance to steal this category, religious history. In which country did the Council of Trent, called by Pope Paul III, meet between 1545 and 1563 to define Catholic beliefs and counteract Protestant teachings? Benit?
Italy.
It is in Italy. U.S. government for both teams. The IRS has notified you that you owe an additional $10,000 in taxes for last year. Your ultimate recourse is to appeal this matter in what court? Colby?
Tax court.
It is tax court, yeah. And with that correct response, you have opened up a little bit more of a lead here as the buzzer sounds for the end of the game, as Blue Valley West wins 23 to Shawnee Mission West 14. Please join us again next time here on Categories, as we will continue to bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all throughout Johnson County.